If you're over 60, are you sure you're getting enough vitamin D to protect your health? The scary truth is that most older adults are still severely deficient, even if they take vitamin D every day. The reason isn't that you're lazy or forgetful, but that the recommended dose is often far too low, combined with spending most of your time indoors, avoiding the sun, which unintentionally robs you of the most valuable natural source of vitamin D. Few people realize that vitamin D deficiency doesn't just weaken bones or cause joint pain. It can silently destroy your immune system, drain your energy, slow your memory, and put your heart at serious risk. Over 1 billion people worldwide are affected by this condition, and most will never fully recover if it's not detected early. Medical research shows that even a prolonged mild deficiency can make you more prone to illness, slow your recovery, and increase your risk of serious conditions like pneumonia, heart failure, or dementia. This is a root cause that's often overlooked in routine health checkups. In today's video, I'll reveal 6 serious dangers of low vitamin D in people over 60 that most doctors never mention, and more importantly, the right way to take it, so you're not getting too little to be effective or too much to be harmful. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Leave your country's name in the comments and share the #1 health concern on your mind. I'll read every comment and respond to help find the best solution for you. You might think your immune system is just getting older, that catching colds more often, taking longer to recover from the flu, or having a nagging cough is all part of being in your 60s or 70s. But what if I told you there's a hidden deficiency silently dismantling your body's natural defenses, and most people never even hear about it until it's too late? This isn't about avoiding germs or washing your hands more. It's about a vital nutrient your immune cells literally depend on to wake up and fight vitamin D. Picture this: you're at the community center, chatting with friends after a light exercise class. Someone mentions they've had 3 colds in the past 2 months. Another says their shingles came back out of nowhere. You nod, thinking you've been feeling more worn down yourself. That's how subtle the warning signs can be. They creep in quietly. And because there's no flashing alarm, you chalk it up to just age. But here's the reality: without enough vitamin D, your body's immune soldiers, like T cells and macrophages, can't even activate properly. They stay sluggish, half asleep, while viruses, bacteria, and even abnormal cells slip past. A major review in Frontiers in Immunology showed that vitamin D acts like a master switch, turning on the very cells that hunt and destroy invaders. Without it, those cells stay dormant, giving infections free rein to take hold. That's why older adults low in vitamin D aren't just more likely to catch colds, they're more likely to get hit harder with complications like pneumonia or lingering bronchitis that can sap your strength for weeks. And it's not only about colds or the flu. A deficiency can tip the scales toward more severe illnesses, urinary tract infections that won't clear, skin infections that spread, or viruses that flare up again after years. Each episode doesn't just steal your comfort, it chips away at your independence. The recovery time stretches, you skip social gatherings, you stop walking as much, and before you know it, your world shrinks. That's the echo of pain not just in the body, but in your lifestyle. The desire we all share at this stage is simple: to stay strong enough to keep living life on our own terms. No one wants to depend on others for every small thing. And yet, something as basic as low vitamin D can quietly push you toward that dependency unless you act early. Here's the part that surprises most people: even if you take a daily supplement, you might still be deficient. Why? Because the amount you're taking could be far below what your body actually needs, especially in Canada or northern states where winter sunlight is weak for months on end. Many seniors I've worked with were shocked to discover their blood levels were still in the deficient range despite years of supplementation. And this leads us to a challenge. If what you thought was enough isn't protecting you, what's the real number? In a moment, I'll share the research-backed sweet spot for older adults, along with how to combine it with 2 other nutrients that make it work even better. But first, ask yourself this: how many of your recent health setbacks, the fatigue, the constant sniffles, the infections that just won't quit, could be traced back to this one overlooked deficiency? If you're still watching and find this information helpful, please type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're still here with me. And if you have any questions, write them down so I can address them in future videos. Have you ever wondered why, even at 60 or 70, you could still break a bone from something as simple as tripping in the kitchen or at your front walkway? Many people think the main cause is osteoporosis, but the truth is far more concerning. Long-term vitamin D deficiency reduces your body's ability to absorb calcium, slowly weakening your bone structure, even if you drink milk or take calcium supplements every day. Picture a quiet morning at the local senior exercise club. A longtime friend shares that she recently broke her wrist after slipping on the sidewalk, even though her doctor once told her her bones were just fine. At first, everyone assumes it's just bad luck, but research from the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research reveals that seniors with low vitamin D levels have up to a 77% higher risk of fractures, and this can happen even to those who exercise regularly and eat healthily. The danger is that this process is silent. You won't feel pain. There are no obvious warning signs until your bones become so fragile that even a small fall can cause serious damage. And once that happens, recovery from a fracture in someone over 60 can take months, and in some cases, permanently reduce mobility, forcing you to rely more on others. This is the echo of pain, not just the physical hurt, but the loss of independence and confidence. The deep desire most of us share at this age is simple: to walk outside on our own, take a stroll, garden, or play with our grandchildren without living in fear that one fall could change everything. But if you don't address vitamin D deficiency at its root, you're gambling with the strength of your bones. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that the amount of vitamin D needed to protect bone health in older adults is much higher than the general recommendations. Even more concerning, many people who supplement are still deficient because they don't pair it with other key nutrients like vitamin K2 and magnesium. It's like building a house without cement. The frame may stand for now, but it's weakening every day. So, how much is enough to truly protect your bones? And how can you absorb the most from what you take instead of wasting it? We'll get to the exact numbers and the right combinations after you understand the rest of the risks. Because the truth is, bones don't weaken overnight. It happens day after day, month after month, as your body quietly loses the foundation it once had. Have you noticed how your mood changes during the winter months, or on weeks when you barely step outside? You might feel more tired, less motivated, even a little foggy, and it's easy to blame aging, bad weather, or stress. But here's what's really happening without enough vitamin D. Your brain struggles to regulate the very chemicals that keep your mind sharp and your emotions stable. In senior communities across the country, I've heard the same quiet confession from so many older adults. I just don't feel like myself anymore. For some, it starts with small things: forgetting where they put their glasses, feeling too drained to join friends at the senior center, or losing interest in hobbies they once loved. The real problem: chronic vitamin D deficiency disrupts the brain's ability to produce serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good and stay-focused chemicals your mind depends on. A groundbreaking study from the Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry found that seniors with low vitamin D were significantly more likely to experience memory decline, depression, and difficulty concentrating. And this isn't just about mental sharpness. When your mood drops, your energy follows. You move less, socialize less, and slowly your overall health starts to slide. This is why doctors are now looking at vitamin D not just as a bone vitamin, but as a brain-protecting nutrient. Because the truth is, brain decline doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, often without dramatic warning signs, until one day you notice you can't remember names as easily, or you avoid conversations because you lose your train of thought. Imagine sitting at a family gathering, listening to your children and grandchildren tell stories, but you can't fully follow the thread, so you smile and nod, hoping no one notices. That quiet frustration, that fear of losing connection, is something no pill for memory can fix unless you address the underlying nutrient gap. The hidden desire for many of us over 60 is not just to live longer, but to stay mentally present, to laugh at jokes, recall cherished memories, and hold conversations without struggling for words. And one of the simplest, most overlooked ways to protect that is by ensuring optimal vitamin D levels. But here's the trap: many people try to fix brain fog with coffee, energy drinks, or mental games, without ever realizing their brain is starving for this basic nutrient. And by the time they connect the dots, years of low vitamin D may have already done damage that's hard to reverse. In just a moment, we'll uncover how vitamin D interacts with your brain cells at the microscopic level and why pairing it with the right fats can help it cross into your brain more effectively. Because if you want to protect your mind as fiercely as your body, this is where the real change begins. Have you ever noticed how often you catch a cold, or how long it takes you to recover from even a minor infection? For many people over 60, the immune system doesn't just slow down because of age. It's being silently weakened by a lack of vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a crucial role in activating the immune cells that patrol your body, ready to destroy harmful viruses and bacteria before they can spread. Without enough of it, those soldiers in your immune system become sluggish, slow to respond, and less effective at defending you. This is why seniors with a low vitamin D are far more likely to face complications from seasonal flu, pneumonia, and even common colds. In fact, a large-scale study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with optimal vitamin D levels had nearly half the risk of respiratory infections compared to those who were deficient. But here's the part no one tells you: many seniors think they're protected simply because they take a daily supplement, without realizing their dosage might be far too low to make a real difference. Imagine this: it's winter, you're mostly indoors, and you take your regular capsule every morning. You feel like you're doing the right thing, but your blood levels of vitamin D never rise enough to fully support your immune defenses. So when a virus comes along, your body fights harder, takes longer to heal, and leaves you feeling drained for weeks. This isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about keeping your independence. Every time you get sick, especially as you get older, it chips away at your strength, making it harder to bounce back. And if that sickness leads to hospitalization, recovery can be slow, frustrating, and even dangerous. The hidden desire here is simple: to stay healthy enough to enjoy life without constantly worrying about the next illness lurking around the corner. Vitamin D is one of the most powerful yet most underestimated tools you have to make that happen. But here's the challenge: you can't just guess your way to the right amount. Too little leaves you vulnerable, but too much can put strain on your kidneys and heart. In a moment, I'll walk you through the safe science-backed way to determine your personal vitamin D needs and how to pair it with the right nutrients so your immune system stays sharp, season after season. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, please leave the number 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me. I read and respond to every comment so we can build a stronger, healthier community for those overstalls. Now, let's talk about another silent danger few people expect: the impact of vitamin D deficiency on heart health. Many believe vitamin D is only about bones, but in reality, it plays a critical role in regulating blood pressure, reducing inflammation in blood vessels, and keeping your heart running smoothly. When your body lacks vitamin D, your blood vessels can become stiffer, increasing the pressure on your heart. A study published in Circulation found that older adults with vitamin D deficiency were 64% more likely to develop heart disease compared to those with adequate levels. The scary part is that early symptoms can be vague, sometimes just mild fatigue, shortness of breath when climbing stairs, or a feeling of your heart racing unexpectedly. This is especially dangerous because heart disease in older adults often progresses silently, only becoming apparent when it's already severe. Every spike in blood pressure, every prolonged episode of vascular inflammation damages your circulatory system. And once the vessels are compromised, your risk of stroke, heart failure, or a heart attack skyrockets. The quiet wish for most of us is to keep our hearts strong so we can continue enjoying moments with family and friends without being tied down to medical machines. When vitamin D is at optimal levels, it not only helps your heart beat more steadily, but also reduces signs of inflammation and supports healthy blood pressure. But here's the thing: simply taking vitamin D without addressing other key factors like magnesium and vitamin K2 can cause calcium to build up in the wrong places, moving from your bones into your arteries, creating exactly the kind of blockage you want to avoid. In the next section, I'll show you how to combine nutrients intelligently to protect your heart and circulation even well into your 70s. One of the most overlooked truths about vitamin D is that it cannot work alone. Without the right nutritional allies, vitamin D can actually become more of a risk than a benefit. The two most important partners are magnesium and vitamin K2, and these are the very nutrients most older adults are severely lacking. Magnesium acts like the ignition key for vitamin D. Without enough magnesium, your body can't activate vitamin D into its usable form, meaning much of what you take each day could be wasted. In fact, nearly 70% of Americans over 60 are deficient in magnesium to some degree. The signs can be subtle: nighttime leg cramps, restless sleep, or unexplained fatigue, yet they quietly erode your energy and stamina. Vitamin K2 plays a completely different but equally critical role. It works like a traffic director for calcium, guiding it into your bones where it's needed and keeping it out of your arteries, kidneys, and joints. Without K2, the calcium mobilized by vitamin D can end up in the wrong places, setting the stage for artery calcification and kidney stones. This is why some people who take high doses of vitamin D without K2 experience more calcification, not less. Magnesium, K2, and vitamin D must work in perfect harmony. When one is missing, the other two can't perform at their best. The diets of many older adults, especially in retirement communities or nursing homes across the U.S., they are often heavy in processed foods, but lacking in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and fermented foods, the natural sources of magnesium and K2. If you want strong bones, clear arteries, steady energy, and a sharp mind well into your 70s and 80s, remember this: vitamin D is only truly effective when paired with magnesium and K2. Don't let all your daily supplementation efforts go to waste simply because you've ignored these two missing pieces. The choice you make today will shape your health and quality of life for years to come. Today, we've explored 6 serious dangers of vitamin D deficiency in people over 60, the very issues most doctors rarely mention. From a weakened immune system, drained energy, and fading memory to hidden risks for your heart and bones. All of these can quietly unfold if we don't recognize them and take timely action. I know that at this age, health is not just a number on a medical report. It's the ability to step into your garden each morning, confidently drive to meet friends, or simply have enough energy to play with your grandchildren without feeling exhausted. Good health is the greatest gift you can give yourself and the people who love you. And I truly believe that with the knowledge you've gained today, you are one step closer to protecting that precious gift. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts or the health issue you're most concerned about. I read every single comment and will do my best to respond to each one. And if you'd like to support me in continuing to create valuable videos like this, consider sending a small donation through the thanks button below. Your support, no matter how big or small, is an incredible source of encouragement for me. Remember, even one small change you make today can create a big difference in your health for years to come. We still have so much more to talk about in the next video. Don't miss it.